Isn't it amazing how circumstances always force our hand? And we're usually behind the circumstances. We're expecting universities to do things that should have been done 10 years ago. And those universities have traditionally, for the last 50 years, had to go through a process of relearning, reteaching everything that those high school students and those middle school students have been doing. And the point being that as we're at the university level now, we've practiced a lot of our doing on how to prepare you to do a job. Learning isn't just about getting ready to do a job.
And this goes back to what are the foundations of higher education? Where would you start, Nancy?
I think another thing that we need to do is we need to make colleges more inclusive, and with that comes diversity. And I think they go hand in hand. If you're looking at demographics right now, every demographic on kids coming up to 18 is dropping, except for Latinos. Are we in the world, in the United States, embracing this and saying, come to our campuses, we want you here, we support you, we have we have all sorts of systems in place to make you feel welcome, and we believe that you're welcome because we want a more inclusive and diverse campus? No, we're not. Very few are, unless you're a historically Latino community.
Are we doing that in our workplaces? I mean, I'll go back to what you said, the Latino community. We want more of them, but are they ready? Heck, I was on academic probation my first year at UCLA. I didn't have a clue. They wanted me because I was Hispanic, and I had to figure it out on my own. I call myself fortunate. But now that Latinos are driving not only the economy, but also will represent the largest workforce population, are we ready for them? So, Raghu, tell us more about what skill mapping programs mean, and what is the data telling us about these more personalized methods towards learning the skills that employers need and want?
So we've always recognized at the university that we have to make sure that learning and work are not two distinct components, but they are one and the same. Career is so embedded in our lives. It becomes part of our identity. Like many of us, when we talk about who you are, the first thing you say is where you work. Exactly. Not who you are, right? So we created several years back an Institute of Career Institute, and we put it into our doctoral studies program. And the intent of it was to try to understand how people were learning and working and how the two go together, and where there are disconnects and what we can do about it. But one of the things that I found in there, which I probably shouldn't have been surprised, but I was, the vast majority, despite all the stuff going on, over 80% say they are highly optimistic about the future of their career. And employers are aware of this, right? And they're doing a lot. Employers are trying to do a lot of things. But what's happening right now is what the survey also showed, is that there is a gap between what employers believe is working and then what employees believe they need to move forward.
Should higher education always be out in front of the jobs that don't yet exist?
Well, I think it varies. It varies by the jobs and the roles and the expectations and the needs around it. There are, we talk about hard skills and soft skills, right? Hard skills are technical things you need to be able to do your job well. The soft skills are things you need to do to be able to adapt and learn and evolve those technical skills. So, like for example, someone said creativity, right? Creativity to me is a soft skill, but it is a skill, right? It's a very important skill, right? Openness is a skill, right? Being able to collaborate is a skill. These are all the skills that we need and which institutions teach today, but we don't give credit for because there's no way to measure it effectively in the workplace. At least there has not been historically.
One of the things we say is you will learn the technical skills in our business school that'll get you your job now and hold you for about 5 years. After that, you're going to, in our case, we have a liberal arts foundation for all of our classes. It's those critical thinking skills and learning and creativity and innovative thinking skills that will get you your job 20 years from now.
What might leaders' techniques need to evolve to lead in this new generation of thinkers?
We've got to be open. We have to be able to allow our employees to look at things and be able to say, I can question that. I can have permission to give my input. If I'm preparing you to do the factory model of the United States from the 1900s, early 1900s, then sitting in a class with 200 kids getting the same thing face in your face would be fine for that. But we're talking about a world that's changing dramatically and very quickly, which means we have to teach young people how to think about things and to conceptually understand what they're doing so that they can create a common vision with others. We're not saying that everybody should be their own individual and go off into a corner. We're saying you should know who you are, you should know what you're all about, so that when you come together with others, you can share you with them and vice versa.